Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today in this class we'll talk about assessment strategies and effective classroom teaching. So before moving on to actual topic, let me just review what we have learned so far, especially about assessment. So what comes in your mind when you think about the word assessment? So you may have heard this word so many times, especially in classroom teaching and education context. So assessment is basically a process by which information is obtained related to predetermined objectives or goals. It is actually one of the way a process in which we get information. Now what kind of information? Is basically measurement or student's ability, because that information helps to make an informed decision. It is also a process of collecting evidence to make informed decisions. In a systematic process of collecting and arranging, analyzing and interpreting students' academic achievement for making the decision regarding the holistic development of students. So again, it's a whole process in which we collect data in the form of assignment, in the form of test, in the form of quiz, and then we analyze and interpret student academic achievement, whether the student is have a sufficient score, sufficient ability to move to the next grade or not. Again, for the holistic development of student. So not only for the ability, but also his other characteristics of development. Why we use assessment? Basically, it enhances students' engagement and motivation towards learning. So if we use proper assessment technique and effective tools, then it actually enhances students' learning and it motivates students towards learn more. It also provides opportunities for teachers, parents and administrators to gather evidence about students' achievement in relation to syllabus outcome. And lastly, that it enables students to demonstrate what they know, comprehend, apply, analysis and evaluate. In other words, assessment is actually provide a platform in which students can show what they know, comprehend, apply, analysis and evaluate. So this is also one of the assessment process is also one of the way to provide an opportunity for students to show what they have know about the concept which they have learned during the course. Moreover, this is one of the quotation I got. If you want to change students' learning, then change the method of assessment. Now I like this quotation too much that I oftenly quote it. See, if you want to change students' learning, then change the method of assessment. Usually, students' learning is changed because the way a teacher use assessment mechanism, assessment tool. So if the students are learning rote learning, they are just memorizing things, then a teacher should change the method of assessment in order to change the students' learning. The improvement of student learning is the most important focus of assessment. So again, assessment is not only used to collect information or to measure students' ability, but also it helps to improve students' learning. Moreover, this is one of quotation I also took. Students learn what they think they will be assessed on, not what is in the curriculum. The trick is then to make sure the assessment task mirror what you intended them to learn. The purpose of assessment: diagnose weakness and strength of students, identify difficulties and their causes, monitoring students' progress, placement and screening, providing feedback to students, teachers, parents and administration, contributing to evaluate teacher performance, program evaluation and planning. There are certain tools of assessment. For example, quiz, practical work, discussion, interview, assignment, observation, examination, project, test, activities, student self-assessment and other classroom assessment techniques. So these are all the assessment tools in which we can use for the assessment. So what is the major difference between testing, measurement, assessment and evaluation? Measurement is the mechanism to quantify a phenomena. A testing is a set of questions to measure something. So usually the test is also a measurement tool. Assessment can be qualitative, assessment can be quantitative. Quantitative means test, quiz, And qualitative means class participation, presentation. So observation, see, in observation basically we assess. In class participation we assess students ability, but we cannot we are unable to quantify those things. So assessment can be quantitative, assessment can be qualitative. Testing is a quantitative measurement, anything that is represented in number. Lastly, the evaluation is actually the combination, actually the evaluation the word taking from the value judgment. So based on the assessment information we evaluate whether something whether student is pass or fail, he or she needs to be promoted or not promoted. This is called evaluation. Types of assessment, there are mainly two types of assessment: formative assessment and summative assessment. Formative assessment is also called assessment for learning, and summative assessment of learning. So formative assessment, anything that is ongoing or during the classroom teaching. For example, the term is referred to ongoing assessment, is also called assessment for learning. So classroom test, weekly assignment, reflective note, classroom quiz, observation, class participation, question answer, these all are formative assessment. Formative assessment ultimate goal is to rectify the feeble aspects during the program to get maximum level of approved objectives. So basic purpose of formative assessment is to rectify students' learning and also inform teachers what students are getting so far, and also it provides an opportunity for teacher as well as students to adjust. For students, it provides opportunity to adjust to rectify his learning and change his mode of learning, and for teachers it provides an opportunity to rectify his teaching and make some appropriate adjustment teaching methodology. Summative assessment is often conducted at the end of program to assess and measure the objectives in a broad spectrum. Summative assessment is also called assessment of learning. The goal of summative assessment is to evaluate students' learning at the end of instructional unit by comparing it against some predefined criteria or standard. So one of the major difference between formative and summative is that in formative assessment there is no grading. In summative assessment there is a grading. So anything that is without grading is called formative assessment, anything with grading is called summative assessment. Most of the students think, or most of the people think that summative assessment conducted at the end, formative assessment conducted during the class. That is not always the case. Formative assessment can also be conducted at the end, summative assessment can also be conducted in the start of the semester. The major purpose of summative assessment is to assess or to see whether objective of program are achieved or not. Teaching and learning process are employed or be executed effectively or not, and to see the development of students and also the overall academic environment, teacher, students, learning, material interaction, everything. The purpose of summative assessment to assess, to evaluate teacher, students, learning material and their interaction. Integration of teaching technique, methodology and HIVs to get a maximum outcomes, a uniform condition for students in the classroom. So in summative assessment we provide a uniform condition in the classroom, which means everyone get the same test in the same environment at the same timing. On the other hand, formative assessment can be varied based on the diversity. We can form a group, we can make a different assignment, we can make a different quiz for different people. So basic purpose, like we can ask challenging question to the smart student, we can ask simple question to the low performing students in formative assessment. However, in a summative assessment everyone gets the same questions or same environment in the same timing. So uniform condition for students in classroom for in a summative assessment. So this is the comparison of assessment. Formative assessment occurs during the instruction, not graded, and is a process. Okay, and a descriptive feedback, which means teacher get feedback on frequent basis, and it is a continuous process. On the other hand, summative assessment occurs at the end, graded, and is actually a product, and evaluation, feedback, and periodic. Periodic means a midterm, final term, first semester, second term. These are the periods of a summative assessment. Both formative and summative assessment are valuable and important. Without both, the classroom assessment system is not balanced. So this is one of the picture I took from internet. So when the chef tests the soup is called formative assessment because chef has the opportunity to make adjustment in the taste of the soup. But when he or she offers that soup to the guest, that's called summative assessment. So when the chef tests the soup is called formative assessment. When the guest tests the soup is called summative assessment, because in a formative assessment, see, chef has the opportunity to make an adjustment, but when guest tests the soup, chef does not have an opportunity to make an adjustment. So same like a final test, teacher does not have an opportunity to make adjustment in the student's learning or teaching because it is done. So this is the activity I would like you to take at home and make a group discussion either merits and demerits of formative and summative assessment. So write at least 3 merits and 3 demerits of formative assessment, 3 merits and 3 demerits of summative assessment. Make sure do not write the merits and demerits of assessment. I mean, do not write the merits and demerits of general assessment or overall assessment. Simply write merits and demerits of formative assessment and summative assessment. So this is what I want you to so this is the activity I want you to do at home. So let me know if you have any question regarding this class, this lecture. This is the kind of assignment or activity you need to submit it, and if you have any question, you can either send me through email or in a WhatsApp group, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions. Thank you so much.